Hello and welcome. I'm up here in Scotland this time around. We didn't have much snow down in Wales, so I headed north. Spent the night in Glencoe last night, but I'm up in Glen Nevis today. So we've got Ben Nevis up there in the cloud behind me, and then up ahead of me I've got the big waterfalls there, Steall Falls, and my plan is to head up here to the start of the Ring of Steall. That's the plan anyway. I've got quite a long way to go. I've got my tent with me, so I'm going to camp tonight, and we'll see how we go. Last time I was here, this is the way I went up, through all those birch trees, and it was absolutely heinous. It was horrible. So yeah, back for more with a heavier bag and a bigger bag, so it's likely to get caught on a few trees. We've got a few hours of sunlight left, so I've got to cross over a little wire bridge and make my way up the hill. So we'll catch up with you up there. There we go. I'm about 100 meters or so from the top, up there in the cloud. It took me a lot longer than I thought it would to get here. The snow is not very consolidated. It's all light and powdery. It's pretty deep drifts in places, and it's a lot windier than I thought it would be, and then it was forecast. It was meant to be kind of 10 to sort of 15 mile an hour up on the tops, but it must be gusting a good sort of 35, 40 mile an hour winds on the ridges here, I reckon. So yeah, big clouds of spin drift kind of blowing down the ridges. So I'm a little bit unsure about where to pitch my tent. There's a nice flat area down there, down in this little valley here, but I don't think I would get any view of the sunrise from down there, but it is sheltered. So what I might do is I might head up to the top, see what it's like over on the other side, because I know there's a little spot I spotted last time I was up here, but I think if that looks too windy, I'll just retrace my steps, which will be in the dark by then, and then I'll probably head down over here somewhere and set up camp for the night. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I haven't filmed very much on the way up because it was just so windy, and I was a little bit stuck for time, and I've got my drone with me and 3 batteries, which every time I carry my drone I never end up using it, so we'll see how we go. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'll set up, or I'll find somewhere to set up, and catch up with you again. Good morning. So last night I ended up kind of setting up camp, but everything was a bit rushed. I made it over the top of the first summit, and I'm camped just below it. You can probably see the top up there behind me. It's pretty windy. It was pretty horrendous last night. I didn't get much sleep. Really windy, lots of spin drift. The tent was getting an absolute battering, but it survived, which is good. So that's where I was camped, just below me there. Nice little spot. We've got a great view of all the surrounding hills here. And the plan for today is to head over this ridge here, along over there, and you can see the sun just rising there behind me, and that's kind of my halfway mark. So I've got a long way to go today, so I'm going to pack up my tent and make my way over. Now I can see the last few peaks that I've got to climb over. There's a lot of spin drift blowing along the ridges there, so I'll see how we go. I may end up heading off the hill before I get there, but yeah, this first little bit, the Devil's Ridge here, that's quite spicy. There's lots of fresh snow on it, so I'm going to put my crampons on and head over that ridge, so we catch up with you in a bit. There we go, I've made it up and across the Devil's Ridge, which is kind of the trickier bit of the whole route. It's all kind of easy grade 1 ridge walking, quite exposed in places, but really good fun. So yeah, I've made it over there. I'm just stopping now to have breakfast because I didn't have breakfast earlier. It was a bit windy where I was camped, but the wind has died now, so I've stopped to have breakfast. I'm just boiling up or melting some snow, which, as I'm sure anyone that spent any time out in the hills in the winter trying to melt snow knows it takes a good long time for it all to melt down. So yeah, boiling some snow, I'm gonna have some breakfast, make a hot drink, and then set off across the rest of the Monroes behind me. Now, it is quite deep in places, this snow, and there are a couple of people behind me. They're about half an hour or so behind me, so I'm hoping that by the time I've had breakfast they will have passed me and I can just follow them, because I've been breaking trail along the ridge so far and it's been really tough going. So yeah, I'm gonna have some breakfast and then make my way along the ridge. There we go, I'm on the final summit. Pretty epic day out, tough going in all the fresh snow, especially over that middle peak there, which I can't remember the name of. Yeah, tough going, but those two guys that were behind me, they must have dropped off somewhere along the way, so I've had to sort of forge my own path the whole way. But yeah, I've still got another 2 hours of daylight left, I think. So I've either got the option of just hanging around up here for a couple of hours, which I'm tempted to do, although I don't have very much food left, so I might bail and head down back into Glen Nevis, so I've still got another couple of hours of walking, even if I don't stay up here. So I'm pretty tempted for that. But yeah, pretty epic day out. There's no wind now, so I might fly my drone. But yeah, if not, then I'll catch up with you on the way down. Back down now. I decided not to stay up for sunset. I just didn't really have enough food. I only had one snack bar left with me and I'm pretty hungry, so looking forward to getting back and eating some hot food. It looks like it's going to be a really nice sunset. You can probably see the hills behind me there lit up all golden. So yeah, I think there's going to be some pretty epic conditions up top this evening. Oh well, I haven't got enough food to hang around for that. So the last bit now is I'm going to have to cross this little river, the one that comes out from the bottom of the waterfall there behind me, which is probably the hardest part of this whole walk. It's always the same in Scotland. The worst bit is your last mile back to the car, where you're pretty much guaranteed to end up to your neck in a bog or in a river. So I'm going to try and cross now without getting too wet, but from memory, last time we came through here, I think we ended up just sort of walking straight through the river, and there's been a lot of rain recently, so yeah, a lot of water, and it's yeah, doesn't look particularly easy. This is probably my easiest crossing just here, but it still looks like it's over boot height, so I'm gonna hop across and try not to fall in.